Hey guys, M12 Warthog here, and we are back with another installment of Strategy Guide. So for this one, we are playing the downrange map on Risk Factions. Now, for additional maneuver, you have to control Kotata. Not a good idea to try and go for first. For early game, maybe late game one, of course, you eventually need to conquer every territory to win, but not starting out. There's a reason for that. We'll get to that later on. Next one is control an enemy capital. You get an airfield, pretty much +1 to the territory that it's in and any adjacent territory to your highest die roll. You got a starting maneuver. You'll maneuver troops at the start of your turn after your drafting phase, but before your attacking phase. Guaranteed card if you control Warpaw. Card regardless of if you conquer a territory or not. Control 2 enemy capitals. You get an attack die. I rather prefer the defense die because that's more beneficial for you. I view it as more beneficial because if you're attacking with an attack die, it just cancels out. So you're pretty much canceling out someone's attack die, but if someone else attacks you, you also have an advantage because of that, and if you have control of the missile, that's good, but we'll see about that. Now, getting 2 additional troops is if you mine 12 minerals, which is why some people go for Kotata early on, but if someone gets control of both sides of the dam, you can easily flush out your troops and make it easy for them to take it over, and they don't have to worry about about losing their troops in Kotata if they have control of the dam. Now, another airfield for 18 territories, and take over 8 territories in one turn, and you get a defensive die. Now, earlier, like I said, we talked about Kotata. You definitely don't want to go down here, because the dam will just flush out everything. For starters, what I think I'm going to do, is Warpaw is the biggest continent. It gives you a guaranteed card, which is pretty good. You got headquarters, outpost, garrison, Silverstress, Kotata, Timas, and Next Gen Bay. Right now, I'm gonna go for the whole island of Next Gen Bay, because if we control the whole area, in order to defend that area, we only have 1 territory. And if we go for Simos next, hopefully we'll have a total of about, I think, 9 territories, and only 3 of them are border territories. So that's kind of good, and then someone just decided to screw me over right there. But you want to know what? No worries. That'll be the first territory we attack. And if someone picks the last territory, that will be the second next territory we're going to pick. And they just love to screw me over. Normally, what they do is go off to their own and pick their own thing and try and build up large areas near where they are. Now, the reason for this is if you have, like, for an example, the Cat or the General Ismo Meow on the right side of the map has 3 territories, and 2 of them can be attacked by land. None of them can be attacked by water, and the third one is not a border territory because it does not border anyone whatsoever, which is also kind of good. You know, someone's probably going to pick the last story in Simos so that I don't get the continent bonus. Okay, I guess not. I get it. Okay, so far so good for the Now, what I think I'm going to do for this is I'm going to do the alternating hammer and anvil tactic, where I put down a lot of troops in one area, they defend, while I push across someone with the other one, but they're going to be sweeping in one way. So one turn, one side will be acting as a hammer, the other one will be acting as an anvil, until we probably get to this territory here, once I sweep from the left side over to the right, and then from there we're going to split off again to go around this area. Now, I think you have to control 3 out of 4 barracks in order to get control of the missile for an additional attack, for an additional die bonus. Now, for me, I think that's pretty good, because we can take out 1 barracks on our way over. So I'm not all too worried about that. Now, my territories are going to be a little bit more scattered because of people just choosing territories right next to mine. Feel like they deliberately did this on purpose for the recording. Oh, he's in a recording. Let's troll me. It doesn't matter. Playing with AIs because I don't want to hold up, be rude and hold up other players when they're playing their own game. Now, of course, you see, probably gonna have to go for Kotada. I know I said I didn't want to go for that early on, but, literally that's my best option at the moment because of the way territories are scattered out. I was probably gonna go for the 4 territories in Silver Stress, maybe 2 up near Warpaw. I actually got 1 of 2 that I wanted for the borders and all that stuff, and I guess I just get this last one. Those 2 on close to the far right are just not gonna be defendable early on. That's all I have to, all I'm doing. Definitely not the best to start out with, but we're definitely going to make light of this situation. So what I think I'm going to do is put a lot of troops here, move that there, attack this territory here, then go for this one, and then maneuver all final remaining troops in there. Now, that's going to be all my troops for my drafting phase. Now, of course, this territory here cannot be directly attacked because it can, through water, it can only do that, or go to my other territory over here via this point. This point is a choke point. Pretty much. If you want to get to this territory here, you have to, or the 2 territories next to it via water border. Pretty much, if you want to use this little lake area near Korat, you definitely have to conquer Korat territory in order to use the lake for transportation anywhere. Because all transportation on water leads to that area. 3 territories lead to that area, and that one can attack 3 territories. So that is definitely going to be something you want to focus on defending. Now, of course, I'm going to be gaining 2, but I'm going to also be getting a continent bonus if my plan first turn works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my troops settled down for a defense of only arming 3 borders, and my 4th one's going to be armed with whatever I can. I'm going to arm 4 borders, but one of them's going to quickly be movable. First turn, it's going to do that plus whatever I got for drafting phase, that kind of stuff. Okay. Because of this, if I just defend one of my borders on Simas, I don't really have to worry about losing control of the dam, and my worries for it being flooded I don't have to worry about that so much. But if someone has both control of both sides of that, you definitely don't want to be putting territories there. And if you do, because it's the only choice you have left and you're the one who's picking last, then that is fine. Just don't put additional troops there because they're just going to get flushed away. Unless you are the one moving first and you can attack one of their 2 territories that makes them remove partial control of the dam. But other than that, let's get right into focusing on troop placement. So from the looks of it, the cats are scattered out. Zombies look like they have a stronger control near the lake with the missile on the right side. Cats have a little bit of a bigger presence on the right side than they do everywhere else. I guess they have a small chunks, like they have a few on the left, few in the middle, and a few in the far side. I just tried to stick to one side, but of course that did not work out. Trust me, if you somehow get control of Vaughn's Temple just by territory picking, when you manually pick territories in a multiplayer game, you you are just so lucky with miracles, because that will almost never happen, because no one's gonna want you to have control of Vaughn's Temple, especially in multiplayer. Because I wouldn't definitely want you to have one. The guy with the most amount of territories doesn't want you to have one because they can place down the most amount of troops. Now, many of you noticed that there are 3 territories that well, like 5 territories I think I haven't bothered to arm that seem like border territories. And that's because I'm going to get rid of all border territories except for one on Next Gen Bay. The one that I have in Warpaw and the two in Garrison just aren't really going to be defendable. The one in Warpaw is just going to be like a slight barrier to give me time in case my first turn doesn't work. Then I have like sort of like a backup plan. Okay. So, I think what I'm going to do now is normally in this situation, if I got control of Next Gen Bay, I'd put my capital at the far end of Next Gen Bay. But it's near some enemy territory, and I don't want that to be lost early on, and someone easily early on getting a airfield that could screw you over. And when you have small numbers early on, that definitely is a factor of whether or not you'll definitely will make the difference between winning and losing a territory. I just gotta hope that the people I'm playing against don't decide to be douchebags and put their capitals right wherever. Like anywhere in Next Gen Bay, otherwise they'll go to no end to stop, and that's just gonna be a pain in the butt. So, normally I would put it here, but because of the territory selection, I'm gonna put it here in Samos. It's not, I'd like to keep it in Next Gen Bay, but it's starting there. Okay, the cats didn't put it in Next Gen Bay. I figured the robots would put it somewhere in the middle where they have a bigger presence. Somewhere where one of their... I guess if you think about it, the robots, the way they have their territories, every territory that they have is a border territory. And now I have, let me see here, 3 territories that are not attackable directly. Of course, that is. So, like I said, gonna go here. Now, originally I outnumbered almost 2-to-1. When you're attacking, remember, you have to leave 1 troop behind, so I was attacking with 11 on 6, not 12 on 6 like you saw. I did not lose troops that turn. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna maneuver this. That was a pretty good turn. This territory is defended, and I got a star. So, I had 2 whole continent bonuses that I'll start beginning next turn. The first turn, I only got 1. Now, if I know the cats are probably can either attack somewhere in headquarters or garrison, or they were going to go for Kotada, and they went for headquarters, of course. Did not work out so well for them. Now, the downside to being the robots in this situation is that they just have such a big area. They have such a big presence in the middle. But the way they pick the territories, like, all of them are attackable. They have, like 5 territories connected together. And they're just, like, attackable from either side. Unlike me, there's, like, one side that I can't be attacked from. And that's, like, sort of the thing I have going for me. Now, what I'm going to do here, though, is if I finish off capturing Kotada, I could just maneuver troops into 2 territories, of course, because it is attackable from 3 different territories can attack Kotada in my current position, all of which are owned by the robots if I were to control all of it. But I only need to defend 2 territories because 2 territories by water can attack it. So, what I'm going to do now, definitely protect this, because this is protecting this territory and this one. Now, I don't necessarily want to get rid of my troops here, because if I mine enough minerals, that's going to actually do me some good. So what I'm going to do now is go and attack this area here, then attack this because this is a border territory. And that, surprisingly, did not work out well. But, have no worries. I had a backup plan all along, and that is to maneuver troops here. Because no enemy owns that territory that I maneuvered my 4 troops to, means that if they take out the one above it, the one that I attacked from, they still have 5 troops on either side that they have to fight. So it's still like a border. And I still haven't lost my 2 territories to the far right, which I probably should. I'm going to be outnumbered 5-1. It looks like in certain situations. Now, the robots are definitely going to try and go for Silverstress in Next Gen Bay. Now, just holding 1 territory in a continent prevents any other person from getting continent bonus. Now, if you have all of the territories, of course, you're getting a bonus, but just holding 1 territory in a continent just prevents you from getting a continent bonus. The cats and the robots are close to getting continent bonuses, and so are the zombies apparently on this turn. So the zombies have 1, the cats and the robots do not. They're close though, and I'm the only one that has 2. Close to being 3 though. Close to being 3. Okay, so I'm 2 territories ahead of the guy in 2nd place. 12 minerals, I get 2 additional troops, which is actually quite good. What I'm going to do now, though, is I don't get that until the end of the turn. I'm going to put 5 there. Actually, no, I don't want to. I want to put this here to defend this, because they put more troops down here, and that means they'll be able to attack me, and that's a bit of a problem. I mean, if I attack this, technically I'm still going to have the same number of borders, I'm just getting 1 extra territory, but chances are that they're going to be prepared in case their capital is taken over, because I border their capital. I'm pretty sure the cats are going to prepare to do something when the zombies try to roll into their capital, because the zombies are bordering the cat's capital. Okay, now as you guys probably figured out from last turn, I'm moving here. Okay. I'd rather have 2 troops than an additional maneuver. And early on, you only need 1 maneuver. Maybe later on when you're getting bigger armies and bigger territories, of course, you're going to probably would like to have an additional maneuver. It's not really necessary to have a 2nd one, but it's just something to think about. Okay. So, right now the cats are in last place, and I think it would be good as if they launched a solid assault against the cats could definitely do some permanent damage to them. But the robots are looking out for themselves, and they definitely want a continent bonus. Now, right now, on Kotada, I have 2 border territories, and it's going to stay like that because even if I take over Silverstress, there's still 1 territory in Warpaw that can still attack Kotada that I have to defend. It's like a back door. No one really pays attention to it, except for people who take this game seriously and have logged over 800 hours on it and know life it, like myself. But it does come in handy when people are like, oh, I'm not going to defend it, I don't notice it, and then when I punch a hole through their defenses, they're like, well, crap, now I have to defend 2 territories, take pressure off this border, or spend some troops that I would have put on this border, on this new border that I have, and that weakens that, then I go over there, raid them. You really, if you let down your guard at any point during a match, your opponents will not hesitate to make use of it. I know I won't. I won't hesitate. Okay. Now I think I'm gonna go and take over a few more territories. Now that I have a lot of extra troops, I want to go for their capital. You know, maybe get an airfield. And I'm losing maybe a few more troops than I expected. But you want to know what? I don't have to worry about that, because now this territory up here is no longer a border. So I'm just going to maneuver all of my troops here. Control 18 territories, and enemy... I pretty much can have 2 airfields. I don't have an optimal spot for where I want an airfield, but I am going to have to take one. And what I'm going to do is put it here. Now I'm going to arm that one next turn because I reduced the amount of things that I have on my border for next gen, but it really doesn't matter. So my two territories in Silver Stress right now could definitely merge into one border. When I take over the Warpaw territory that's right next to Silver Stress. Now, of course, they're putting a bunch of troops there because that's the closest territory to their capital, and they're going to try and attempt to take it over. They might actually get it, but here's the thing: I've made them spend so much troops that they don't have a whole lot. You see, they may have gotten one of my territories, but I'm not worried because they only have one troop in their capital and two in the other. That's not as easily defendable as it was the first time I went through. So I'm going to have less difficulty doing it. And eventually, if I keep attacking them and they keep spending their troops, or they eventually keep spending troops to attack other people, they won't have enough to take back their capital. And that's what I'm hoping on, that they also, instead of just focusing me, are going to focus other people that are attacking them as well. Nope, don't want to flood the continent, because that would get rid of one of my borders. Nope. Okay. So, I think I know what I'm gonna do now. Okay, I'm gonna attack there. Okay, I hate when it makes me wait for the card. I'm gonna go for there. Now what I'm going to do is go for this. And finish off Silver Stress. Now I got 3 continent bonuses next turn. If I can hold down these territories. So now what I'm going to do is maneuver this here. Get an airfield. I'm going to place that right in there. That way it's protecting 3 territories that I own, and giving me a bit of an advantage when I'm attacking 2 territories that are next to it, which happen to be both owned by the robots. As a matter of fact, if I've noticed, most of this time I've only been bordered by the robots, most of the time. Which is probably why I'm attacking them the most. It's not because I hate them, but it's the only target that I have, or the only option for a target that I have to attack. Okay! Now I'm sort of interested to see what they're gonna do. Okay, they're gonna go after the zombies, because if they're only getting 5 troops a turn and I have 10 in one territory, it's gonna be a while before they can attack my border and go back for their capital. On top of that, I could just always put more on my turn. So if they're only getting 5 and I have more territories than them, of course it's gonna go like that. Okay. I think the zombies are going to be a strong second place for this match. Now, I think it's really just a question of who's going to fall down first between the zombies and not the zombies, but the cats and the robots. Having that missile silo in the middle of the lake definitely does help. It helps to some extent, but it's not going to help you if you have 5 troops in your attacking team with the has 20 and you have a nuke. Or the what do you call it, the missile or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I think I'm going to put more troops here and put some more here. Now I'm going to extend this border. By extending, I mean taking over more territories in a way where I do not increase the number of borders that I have, but only move my borders so that I have more land without the sacrifice of having to defend more territories. Okay. I think I'm good from this part for now. Now, of course, the cats definitely want to attack the barracks, and it's probably the best thing to do. Because anything that can reduce the control that the zombies have on the barracks is a good thing. And I still have one territory up there that I said that would not be able to defend early on as much as well as I could with the other territories I had. But, like... But like I said, the cats and the robots are definitely going to lose. And it's going to be between me and the zombies. It's just a question of who's going to fall down first. They're both going back and forth over one barracks. Or, as I like to call it, territory that is fought back and forth for repeatedly. Even though you may only hold it for one turn. And if you hold it for more than that is by some sheer luck. I call Obeligador. There's a long story for that, but we don't need to get into the details. Okay. So at this point, I have 24 territories and about 18 troops per turn. Sounds right, okay. Let's scale back on this. Even it out a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack 3 territories each with my borders. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is move this here. Now this territory with 13 troops in it is no longer a border, so I can just do this here. At this point, I can take my additional maneuver and super strengthen my current border right here. With 40 troops on that one border. Still, I don't think it's a good idea. Though the zombies are is a big dog in this game, a big nation. Attacking them probably wouldn't be the best idea. Because now you're going to make them want to attack you more. You took away territory, but that's not really going to do that much. Right now, the robots and the cats just don't have enough forces or enough territories or enough troops to compete with anyone. Maybe they can make a comeback if they got 10 stars from their command cards and turn those in for 30 troops, but even then, you wouldn't have enough to compete against my border, but you would definitely have enough to take a chunk out of the zombies. And then maybe after that, you might have a chance to get through my borders if I misplace my troops or something. Finally, that territory goes away. No, I'm not going to flood the continent. Not going to do anything. There's one army in every territory. It's not going to do much. Okay. Okay. Now at this point, I'm going to just fast battle. Now I'm going to go here and cover this border. And I'm going to make these about even. Okay, finish. No, I don't think I need to maneuver anything. No additional maneuver. And I think we're done in that area. Command and Sixth Floor was defeated. Not by me or the zombies, but by the cats. How nice. At least they accomplished something in this match. Which for me, if they play their cards right, I thought maybe not the zombies, but the robots or the cats could have gone a little bit farther than what they did, but when people attacked them, they just fell apart. Okay. By attacking that, you're weakening both borders that I'm gonna be attacking. But oh well. Okay, so at this point, it's just between me and the zombies. We both own 2 capitals, ours and an enemy's. Let's finish him off. Wonder what I'm gonna trade in my stuff. 7 for 17. I know I could probably get, like, way more if I waited, but okay, for this turn, I'm going to be attacking more with this territory, so this one's going to get more troops. You'll find out in a second. So, I'm going to attack here. By attacking here, in this territory here, this territory that I have selected here is no longer a border to water forces, and I don't have to spend troops to defend these 2 areas here, and then only this area becomes a border. Now, when playing this, you definitely got to focus on what will become a border and what will not be a border when you're done attacking. Now, I'm losing way more troops than he is because I had to attack a territory within the range of this missile. But you want to know what? He no longer has control of that, and I went for that directly. That way it wouldn't cause more problems. Now for me, it doesn't really matter which order I attack these in. At the end, I'm just going to maneuver those all back. What I'm going to do now is go directly for this attack. Wow, I have less than 10. Started out with like, what was it, like 32, I think? But okay, well, at least I have control of Warpaw. That means I'm getting a bonus. I'm gonna have to split up my troops here. Okay. Guaranteed card, because whenever you get the option to select a card or a guaranteed card, selecting guaranteed card means you get a card every turn, including the turn that you pick it. Now, of course, he cashed in all of his cards and he's going to attack me. Now, the question is, will he actually get enough troops to do a lot of damage, or will it be a small amount? Now, by doing this, he's just disregarding one of his other borders, and he's just going to leave that open. Now, of course, I did my best to defend each one, but of course he's going to attack the lesser defended one, and he's going to go and try and take over this area here. Now, I'm not too worried, because I can just easily capture all of this back if you're only leaving about 3 troops per territory. Something like this definitely can happen, especially can turn the tables when you get the ability to cash in a bunch of troops. But you want to know what? I'm not going to flood. Don't need to. Just going to cash these in. Okay. Now I'm going to finish attack. He no longer has control of that missile. I was able to get back everything with a lesser amount of troops. Okay. Additional maneuver. I don't really want to maneuver anything else, but I am getting a guaranteed card. Okay, so at this point, he now has 11 things. He's only going to be able to put down 7 troops. He already cashed in all of his things, all of his stars, so getting 30 troops, not going to be able to this turn. That means this border remains unbroken. Okay. Now I'm going to take this and put this here. Next bet is to extend my borders, minimizing how many actual borders I have to defend. Okay. I want to threaten his capital by having a territory next to that, just to sort of make him stop and think, is he going to go for my capital or not? Because regardless if you are playing World Domination or War Room, you're going to need your capital to win. Because in War Room, 3 objectives, plus hold your capital and you win. When it's World Domination, you just need to own everything, which includes your capital and everyone else's. So, okay, I'm gonna put that there. Now I think it's the turn that we can finish him off. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna get a... I don't think I'm ever gonna get the defense die bonus, because I'm not, I don't think I've ever taken over 8 territories in one turn. I think I came close when I took back all those territories I lost from the zombies. Okay, so at this point, now I'm gonna move here. And I'm gonna move here. Now this is the larger army of the 2. And I'm gonna attack here. And that, guys, is how you get a strategic victory on the map Downrange on Risk Factions. Hope you enjoyed this strategy guide. Remember, this strategy guide is one solution to winning this map. There are probably multiple others. All strategies have their own strengths and weaknesses. And so does this strategy as well. This is a strategy that works. May not be 100% perfect for every single situation, but nonetheless, this is a strategy I've learned, and I've learned to apply it to this map and get it to work. Most of the time it works on multiplayer unless people catch on to what you're doing. But that is all for today. Taking the time to leave any comments, questions, or feedback for me in the comment section down below would be highly appreciated, and I will see you guys later.